It is December the 12th. And in yesterday's live stream, if you guys were here for yesterday's live stream, we talked about the fact that Candace Owens was live at the same time, and she had a very important message she was putting out. She titled her video yesterday, "A Personal Announcement." I don't know if you saw it. There's that for you to look at. She had something extremely important to talk about, which I'm going to kind of like summarize for y'all now, if you'd like, but I am going to give her a personal warning. So everything that Candace Owens talked about yesterday is a reason for the government to look at her and pay attention to her, which they've already been doing. For those of you who don't know, Candace Owens, she was with Daily Wire. They let her go. Then she's doing her own thing over on YouTube, and she got demonetized on YouTube for talking about Israel. A couple months ago, maybe. She got demonetized for talking about Israel. Well, yesterday, she put out a video called, she titled it, "A Personal Announcement." And I just want to give you kind of, again, a summary of what she talked about here. And it has to do with Israel once again. And because of her conversation yesterday and the person that she had on the video with her, I myself am sort of worried for her safety. I put nothing past our government when it comes to shutting down people that they don't want out talking, right? So I asked Grok over on X to kind of give me a summary of what the video was yesterday, because it's an hour and 10 minutes long, and it's easy to watch or read the transcription over there, but this will help kind of give it a better idea. So she had a guy on her show yesterday named Philip Turney. He's 77 years old, and I had no clue about this. I am 42 years old. I was born in 82. This happened in 1967. The incident she spoke about yesterday on her video. And a lot of people, especially here watching SquirrelTribe, you guys, a lot of y'all are older than me, in the 50s, 60s, 70s and up, right? So this is not going to be any new information for you, but maybe more surprising information, because since 1967, our government has kind of been trying to cover up and lie about and hide exactly what happened on the USS Liberty and the incident between it and Israel, right? So this is the summary, so you guys understand, and then we're going to go into a little bit more information, and then of course we'll talk about other things later. But this I wanted to bring up before, one, YouTube deletes Candace Owens' video. Two, the government deletes Candace Owens, because I put nothing past them. But anytime information is out that they don't want talked about, something seems to happen, whether it is the person has to take a break or they go away for a while. We'll talk about LeBron in just a minute with that one, LeBron James. Or their channel disappears or something else, right? So or they do everything they can to discredit the person talking. Let's think about Pete Hegseth right now. They've been doing everything they could to discredit him. Same thing happened with Matt Gaetz. They did everything they could to discredit Matt Gaetz and make him seem awful. Same Pete Hegseth, make him seem awful. And now suddenly Joni Ernst, the same woman who was completely against Pete Hegseth and his appointment in Trump's cabinet, is suddenly on his side and, rooting for him. I'm curious what happened there, but again, we'll get to that later. So this is kind of what happened in Candace's video yesterday. She said she introduced a speaker named Philip Turney, a 77-year-old survivor of the U.S. Liberty incident, who reads a letter detailing the events of the attack, which happened on June 8th, 1967, by Israeli forces, all right? The USS Liberty was clearly marked as an American ship with its flag and designation visible. On June 8th, 1967, during the Six-Day War, the ship was attacked by unmarked Israeli aircraft and torpedo boats, despite being identified as American by prior Israeli reconnaissance, all right? The attack began with the destruction of communication antennas, rendering the ship unable to call for help effectively. The assault included machine gun fire, napalm, and torpedoes, leading to significant casualties and damage. And according to this, again, this is the summarization of the entire video by Grok over on X. This is the government response. Efforts to get assistance from nearby U.S. forces were thwarted by orders from high-ranking U.S. officials, including Secretary of Defense at the time, Robert McNamara, and President Lyndon B. Johnson, who recalled aircraft that had been sent to aid the Liberty. Johnson is quoted saying he wouldn't embarrass Israel, indicating foreknowledge and complicity in letting the attack continue. And then this is the aftermath and cover-up portion. It says here, the survivors were left for 17 hours before help arrived. The subsequent military inquiry was superficial, with survivors ordered to remain silent under threats of imprisonment or worse. The incident was covered up with narratives suggesting it was a case of mistaken identity, despite evidence suggesting otherwise. And then it says here that Turney and other survivors have faced accusations of anti-Semitism and conspiracy theorizing for speaking out. We know exactly how that works. The second you speak out about something, they try to say that it's a conspiracy theory. And how many times have we been right on those, y'all? They say it's conspiracy theory. They say you're delusional. They say you're making things up in order to, get traction in whatever reason it would be. Okay. So you have them now saying they've been fighting for recognition and justice for 57 years with limited support from Congress or subsequent U.S. administrations. The USS Liberty Veterans Association continues to seek acknowledgement and a proper investigation into the incident with ongoing FOIA requests for related documents. Now, Turney himself shared his personal experience in betrayal, trauma, psychological impact of the event, including instances where he and other survivors were threatened or silenced. The interview touches on broader political implications, including the influence of Israel on U.S. policy, the role of AIPAC or AIPAC, and how the incident reflects broader issues of U.S. foreign policy and loyalty. And then, the video ends with Candace Owens pledging monetary support for the USS Liberty veterans, $40,000 a year. I think she said her and her husband would be pledging to them because they want to be able to continue trying to get the truth of what happened on June 8th, 1967, seen and heard by everybody else. So I pulled that up. And so, of course, I went to Wikipedia, which Wikipedia, again, you have to grain of salt that because they are a left organization. And right now, if you go to Wikipedia, they are asking for money. So I thought that was very interesting. I went to Wikipedia and they're saying that, for people who use them, they do their best to give them accurate information, sometimes, right? And they're asking for a $2.75 donation from every single person who visits and uses Wikipedia to keep them going. No, not happening. I only go over there for finding information, and then I try to either confirm or deny the information through other sites, whether it's DuckDuckGo, whether it's the Wayback, whether it's Google itself, whether it's X, whatever. I try to find something that can either confirm or deny whatever Wikipedia is telling me, because Wikipedia, grain of salt, right? But according to this, June 8th, 1967, the participants, I just looked up USS Liberty, right? And it says the participants were Israel and the United States, commanders and leaders, and it has the commanders and leaders. It was the United States, it was one technical research ship. Israel had 2 Mirage 3s, or whatever those are, 2 Mystery 4s, and 3 motor torpedo boats. So that is 2, 4, 7 against 1, okay? And in this whole entire thing, there were no casualties or losses on the Israeli side, but for the U.S., there were 34 people were killed and 171 were wounded. And then the ship that they were on was heavily damaged. And I had, I think I have it saved, but I have some more information here. This is according to Wikipedia. I'm trying to zoom in and this work correctly. This is the boat itself. If you guys can see, this was the USS Liberty. I haven't asked you guys, is this backwards today or not backwards today? I have no idea. YouTube has been doing really stupid stuff, so I'm not sure if we're backwards or not. I haven't looked at it on actual YouTube. But according to this, the USS Liberty incident was an attack on the United States Navy Technical Research Ship, or a spy ship, by Israeli Air Force jet fighter aircraft and Israeli Navy motor torpedo boats on the 8th of June, 1967 during the Six-Day War. Still backwards? Dang it. Oh, it is what it is. The combined air and sea attack killed 34 crew members, naval officers, seamen, 2 Marines, and 1 civilian NSA employee, wounded 171 crew members, and severely damaged the ship. At the time, the ship was in international waters north of the Sinai Peninsula, about 25.5 nautical miles northwest from the Egyptian city of Arish, or whatever. And it doesn't say here through Wikipedia if Israel knowingly destroyed this ship, knowing that it was an American ship, or if it was an accidental destroying. I don't see how you accidentally destroy something like that. Maybe that's just me. I wasn't alive back in 1967. I don't know what kind of communications they had. I only can base my thoughts off of movies I've seen, whether it's Pearl Harbor or, Black Hawk Down, but that's more of a newer one. But older movies that I've seen that show what it's like for military people in all branches of the military, right? I myself do not know what kind of communications they had. But this says here, let me see if I can do this. Israel apologized for the attack, saying that the USS Liberty had been attacked in error after being mistaken for an Egyptian ship. Both the Israeli and U.S. governments conducted inquiries and issued reports that concluded the attack was a mistake due to Israeli confusion about the ship's identity. Others, including survivors of the attack, have rejected these conclusions and maintained that the attack was deliberate. Thomas Henmore Moore, who the 7th chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, accused President Lyndon B. Johnson of having covered up that attack was a deliberate act in May of 1968. And this is what's crazy to me. Let me put it to you this way. A lot of times I feel if money is paid out to something, and this goes for everybody, whether it's Trump, whether it's anybody else, whether it's Biden, whatever. If money is paid out, I feel like that's always some level of acceptance or some level of cover up of guilt. Sometimes, obviously, it is just to shut someone up. But here, in May of 1968, the Israeli government paid US $3.32 million to the U.S. government in compensation for the families of the 34 men killed in the attack. So a year later, not even a year later, Israel paid money to the families of the people that they killed. To me, it's because they knew what they did was wrong and they did it on purpose, all right? What they paid back then, $3.32 million, they're saying now is an equivalent to $29 million. That's how much money has changed from 1968 to 2024. What was $3 million worth is now $29 million worth, right? They paid it to the U.S. government in compensation for the families of the 34 men killed in an attack. In March of 1969, another year later, Israel paid another $3.57 million to the men who had been wounded. In December of 1980, it agreed to pay another $6 million as the final settlement for material damage to the ship, plus 13 years of interest. So that first amount of money was paid to the government, not to the men, the family of the men who were killed. The second payment went to the men who were wounded. And the last payment went because they hurt the ship and they wanted to pay the ship off plus interest. That's a lot of money, number one. And to me, it shows some sort of level of guilt, obviously. Maybe they felt bad about what they did. But according to Candace Owens yesterday and the gentleman that she had on, it was known what was going on. Lyndon B. Johnson allowed it to happen, did nothing to stop it because he didn't want to upset Israel or make them look bad or embarrass them. I think that's crazy, right? That's as much as I have on that. But with Candace Owens already being demonetized on YouTube for even speaking about Israel previously during the whole, Israel, Palestine, Gaza, everything there, her to continue to speak on something like that, it worries me for her. So hopefully she is going to have a little extra security around her at this time. It would seem like a good idea. I do know that she actually has a live stream at 3:00 today where she's going to introduce her husband, George Farmer. For anybody who's curious, I'll be watching it for a little bit. I want to see what he's about because I don't really know him. But anyway, that was that on Candace Owens. I had an ex, let's see where the bookmark is. I could have sworn I saved the bookmark of, there's a video with Lyndon B. Johnson. Real Candace Owens. Oh, that was the other thing. Hold on. Let me play this. This is actually from Candace's live stream yesterday. Let me see if I can get the volume up here. It'll be backwards with the words, but you guys can just listen to it and be fine. All right. Come on, Candace. Do your thing, girl.
I'll tell you, I have never, ever had an inkling to run for president of the United States, despite people insisting on it. But hearing what happened to you, if I ever do run, it will be to honor you guys in the way that you should be honored. And to give the middle finger right back.
I hope you do.
To the government.
My daughter said that yesterday. Tell her I wanted to run for president. Candace for president.
If I did it, it would be to honor the memory of the USS Liberty. And I would say it every day when I was on stage, because what happened to you is despicable. It is abhorrent that we have men that are raising money, pretending to be America first, that are more concerned with getting invited to dinners and fancy dinners, peddling lines that they don't actually mean in their heart. And the worst thing is that they say that they're the party of God, that they are the party of God. And yet they commit themselves not to a higher power. They commit themselves to politicians. They commit themselves to lobbyists. They commit themselves to money.
So for Candace Owens to say that in itself makes her want to run for president, I think is kind of crazy, because she's gone over a lot of different things. She's talked about a lot of different things in the time that she's been on in social media or in television or whatever else. So that's huge that in and of itself made her want to do something. Right now, there's one more. I'm going through all my bookmarks here. Here it is. So this is: during the attack on the USS Liberty, American planes were recalled, and the President of the United States, Lyndon B. Johnson, is quoted as saying the following statement. This is by Candace Owens again, but I want to show you this if I can. It's only 14 seconds long. If I can get the thing to do the thing with the thing. All right, let's see if I can fix it.
They were also recalled, this time by Lyndon Baines Johnson himself. He said, quote, "I don't care about a few dead sailors. I will not embarrass my ally, Israel. Return to base immediately," end quote.
So that is the huge part. I don't care about a few dead sailors. I'm not going to embarrass my ally is where the outrage comes in, because not wanting to embarrass your ally is one thing, but stating, again, this is a quote that Candace Owens had or found, and she finds a lot of stuff, right? But for that quote to say, "I don't care about a few dead," I've already forgot how he said it, American soldiers, sailors, whatever. However he phrased it, that in and of itself is absolutely despicable. Absolutely despicable. So I just wanted to share that with you. So if anybody out there is thinking to themselves, Lyndon B. Johnson was one of the best presidents ever, that may change your mind just based off of the USS Liberty alone. Now on to something fun, just real quickly. If I can find, Benny Johnson posted this up earlier. This is, we don't need the volume for it, but this is Donald Trump and Melania walking in to ring the bell on the stock exchange, which I thought was really cool, on the same day that Time magazine released him on the cover as their person of the year. Not that it really matters. Time magazine is still absolute garbage. They needed to pick him in order to save some kind of face, I'm sure. I do believe that he is the better person of the year pick out of everybody they could have possibly picked. Definitely not Kamala Harris, definitely not anybody else, or Joe Biden. Sure as shit, not Joe Biden. But I thought that was cool, walking into the New York Stock Exchange. We've got that there. And then here is, dun, 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 dun. This is there a volume? I don't know what this one is. I didn't listen to this yet, so we'll just kind of see what's happening. It might be really loud. It might be crazy. What's happening? Oh, there we go. So that's him. That's Donald Trump, Melania, gonna ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It was live. It's not live anymore, just FYI. And there is. So that's pretty cool. So they said that he is the first president since Ronald Reagan, to ring the stock exchange bell, which is fitting since Ronald Reagan, right? Reagan and Trump, it feels fitting to me. Both of them actors turned president, both of them two people who wanted the best for the country. I haven't seen the Reagan movie with Dennis Quaid in it. I have not seen that one yet. I do plan on seeing that. I know when it came out in theaters, it was really pushed down to the bottom. They didn't want it out. Same thing with Matt Walsh's I'm a Racist. Am I Racist? That's what it's called. Am I Racist? That movie as well was pushed down to like one showing 3 times a week by AMC and Regal and whatever else. And the third one, Cinemark, I think is the other one. Same thing when Reagan came out. It was very hard to find that movie, so I didn't get a chance to see it yet, but I do believe it's going to be on some sort of streaming service at some point. More than likely, it would be on, I wonder what streaming service it would be on, because Netflix is woke as hell. So is Max, because now Max and Hulu are part of Disney, so those are all woke as hell. Maybe, no, Apple TV, woke as hell. Amazon Prime? Not quite sure exactly where it would be, but I do want to watch it once I can figure out where it's going to be. This is Donald Trump signing the New York Stock Exchange guest book being told he's the first president. Oh, that's what I wanted y'all to hear. I told you ahead of time. My bad. Y'all were supposed to listen to it, not listen to me. Wait. Hold on. Play.
You will be excited to know that you are the first president to ring the bell since Ronald Reagan.
Interesting job.
Ronald Reagan, March 28th, 1985, where he addressed the floor. Yes, it's a great honor to have you. You will be.
So that's that. I saw Sarah said Max isn't Disney, but Disney owns Max now because they just bundled them as like a 3-part, and they couldn't bundle them if they weren't either partners with them or over them somehow. So I'm not exactly sure what the connection is there, but I feel like if Max and Hulu and Disney are all under the same umbrella, it puts them under the same wokeness. That's my thought process, to me, personally. But I don't know. But I feel like this might be end up on Amazon Prime or something, the Reagan movie. Now, the other thing I have here for y'all is, y'all want to go ahead and jump into this, come on now, work your brain, Michelle. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. There's one more bookmark I have here that I forgot about. This is what we were talking about earlier with the USS Liberty. So according to this, Phil Turney, president of the USS Liberty Veterans Association, calls on President Donald Trump for justice for the American sailors murdered in Israelis' national attack on the USS Liberty. And this is what he said: all presidents and all of Congress, including President Donald Trump, have not done anything for us. They're beholden to the Zionist state and the AIPAC. I don't know if you're supposed to say AIPAC or how that works. I call on Donald Trump to help us. We gave our lives and our blood for this country at the hands of the Zionists in Israel. Does he stand with Israel or does he stand with the United States as fighting men who were slaughtered that day? And he goes, I call on you, President Trump, to give the USS Liberty the same courtesy we deserve as any fighting man who was killed that day. And I don't want to play the whole thing because I don't know. I know Candace Owens is demonetized, but I don't know if it'll still hurt over here if they'll take the video down for playing her stuff too much. But
That's what
we'll play a little bit anyway.
To be their voice, because we're not going to let them die in vain. There's not many survivors left. They're dying out. And it's our duty as Americans and patriots to take care of them and make sure their lives didn't die in vain. And
so I agree with him completely on that. For our men and women to be going and fighting for this country and dying and it being in vain, especially if they're going to fight any of the things that are going on right now during this Biden administration, I feel like every single one of those would be in vain. It's absolutely crazy to me. And especially if these men who died with the USS Liberty did not get the recognition they deserve because the government wasn't willing to come clean about how and why they died. That's a problem, right? That's a problem. So make sure you guys watch Candace Owens' video from yesterday before YouTube deletes it or something. I have a feeling it won't be able to stay up long. That's just because I've had videos taken down by YouTube before when they did not want the topic being talked about. I go over and put them over on X. Candace Owens may do the same thing, but I would definitely say watch it before it is too late. Now, we're going to move on to the drones, y'all. We talked about these drones yesterday. And how now you have the FBI looking into them. You have them talking about them at the White House, not the press secretary, because that would be Karine Jean-Pierre. She didn't mention it, but some other, that Singh chick, she talked about it. Here's what's funny to me, and y'all don't light me up in the comments here, but Ryan Hall, y'all, I pay attention to him for the weather. Like, I think he's great. He gives all the information possible. He gives you a heads up on what's going on. He stays live during any kind of big weather situation. But he posted yesterday that 90% of these videos are regular old airplanes. The other 10% are just contextless blobs of blurry light. I'm blown away by the fact that official organizations are giving this the time of day. I'll gladly eat crow if there's any proof something weird is going on, but I think some of y'all have gone plumb nuts. Here's the thing. I feel like it's not airplanes. I mean, I've seen airplanes, and airplanes do not move like we've seen in the videos of these so-called drones, right? It's not airplanes. I don't care what anybody says. The fact that you do have the FBI looking into it and you do have it being talked about at the White House gives it not credibility. I don't even know if that's the right word, but lets you know that it is more than just, airplanes or whatever else, or blobs of light, like reflective light off of something. So I love Ryan Hall, y'all, but I disagree with him on this one. And I don't generally disagree with him. He says there's a tornado coming, my ass is hauling. I'm going away. He says there's rain, I'm gonna get some galoshes. He says it's about to be hot, I'm gonna get some water. Like, I trust everything he says when it comes to that. But I don't agree with him on this. And somebody just said he doesn't believe that they saw he doesn't believe in weather manipulation either. Well, that's kind of dumb when the government has let you know they manipulate weather all day long. Cloud seeding is a thing. It's a weather manipulation. It's been done for years and years and years, and they're not quiet about it. So anyway, back to where we were. The drones have gotten a little crazy, a little buck wild, and where is it now, y'all? Outside of that, I'm just going to point this one out to you. This is brand new that just popped up a couple hours ago. So this says a Chinese citizen, Yin Piao Zhu, I guess, I have no clue how to say these things, 39 years old, who legally resides in the U.S., being a lawful permanent resident status, was just arrested for operating drones to photograph the Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. He was arrested right as he was about to board a flight to China. The judge in the U.S. District Court in San Francisco decided to release him from custody, but the DOJ appealed that decision, so he remains in custody for now. His last trip to and from China was in February of 2024. I don't remember when those balloons were, and I don't remember if there's other drone issues there, but why do you need drone footage of Space Force Base before you go to China? Just out of curiosity, I would like to know the reasoning behind this. That is all. So this is the picture of, not picture, I don't have the person, but they're saying the drone he was flying was here, which again is backwards because YouTube sucks donkey. Vandenberg Air Force Base is where he was flying drones and was caught and arrested, because you know what happens when you're flying drones over places like this, they stop you. Unless it's New Jersey or Maryland and it's over a Trump golf course or something, then they just let it continue on. Okay, make that part make sense, because it doesn't to me. So we've got that. And then it says here, in seemingly related news, there have been 11 drone sightings in New Jersey over sensitive locations, probably military bases. And again, nothing has been done about those. So let's go to more, because I have more of that. This here, CBS Evening News even posted this. New Jersey officials demand answers over drone sightings. It says, mystery drones over New Jersey are concerning both officials and residents. The Pentagon said they have no evidence these are coming from a foreign entity or from a foreign adversary. If you can say that you have no evidence they're coming from foreigners or whatever, why can't you have any evidence of what the hell they are and where they're coming from? You can't tell me it's not coming from here, at the same time not be able to tell me where it is coming from. If you can definitively X out or mark out this place, that means you have to have some sort of idea of where it could be coming from. So why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't they telling us where these could be coming from? That is, I think, what most people have an issue with, because it feels like the government is, sitting on their thumbs and rotating and doing absolutely nothing about what is going on. It is not like 4 people have seen these things. Yes, now we have to be fully upfront here. There have been a lot of really crappily made fake videos floating around, no pun intended, over on TikTok and on X and on YouTube and everywhere else you could possibly put up a little video or whatever, right? You have videos where they're like, oh, this was a drone over New Jersey. And it's like, well, that was probably a drone over somewhere in Texas. And that was 5 years ago. And it was this, this, and this. There are going to be fake videos. So you got to be real careful. Take everything with a grain of salt, obviously. But there is factuality to the fact that does that even make sense? Factuality to the fact? Sometimes my brain and my mouth do not sync up correctly. There is legitimacy to the fact, we'll go with that they have seen things flying over these areas in Jersey and Maryland and other places. And they aren't regular drones. They are not airplanes, Ryan Hall, y'all. And people, of course, are saying that they're UFOs. So we're going to have this whole big back and forth on if we have UFOs or not. But it is something that needs to be paid attention to, because while we're looking over here on the East Coast, you have Chinaman over here on the West Coast recording Vandenberg Air Force Base and hopping on a plane to take it back to China. So is this the distraction so that whatever's happening over here on the West Coast isn't noticed? There are wildfires in Malibu. I think thousands upon thousands of acres have burned. The electricity company there, GD&E, something, I don't remember the name of it. They cut off power to just a ton of people and said that until the wind dies down or the fire stuff stops, they can't turn the power back on because they need to be able to get their helicopters and their drones up to make sure that everything is safe. So whatever's happening on the West Coast, is that just like, are we being distracted by what's going on the East Coast? The East Coast, people are saying that it's Israeli ships or whatever, a hub station off of the coast. And you have the government coming out going, no. Well, now we just talked about the fact that the government will cover up for Israel all day long because they're allies and they would much rather not piss off Israel than be honest with U.S. citizens. So there is a very good possibility that these are drones that are being launched by Israeli forces somewhere, right? Again, I put nothing past our government. I expect the absolute worst out of them, and nothing surprises me when it comes out as true after we've been going, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but I don't know, like with C-19, maybe a jab or two. Let's continue on with some more stuff. So this is the one that's not real. I want you guys to see this. Hodge Twins put this up. I don't think they realize this has been debunked for this video. Once they put it up, I don't think they knew. But this video has been going around social media saying that this is one of the drones in New Jersey. And Hodge Twins were like, if that was in Texas, we would have shot that shit down by now. This isn't a real thing. This is, I saw it on another thing, which gave it the context of what it was. It's supposed to look like something from Star Wars, because that was my first thought. Those little Star Wars things that fly around. That's what it looked like to me. So I'm trying to fix the phone here. So you have to be very careful with what you're watching because they are putting up fake ones so that it will desensitize people from the fact that there are real drones over these areas in Jersey and Maryland. They want it to seem like if they not debunk it enough, but if they oversaturate social media with fake videos, by the time you do see real videos, you're thinking to yourself, oh, another fake video, and you stop talking about it. You stop wondering about it. You stop looking at the fact that these things are going on. That's how I see it, right? Misdirection would be the perfect word for it. Let's see, I have another one here. Nope, not that. We don't need that. Hold on. Oh, in a worrying development, Putin has ordered all Russians in the USA and Europe to return home, usually a signal of war. This is according to the White Rabbit podcast. I don't have any confirmation on that, but I saw it and I thought to myself, could look at that one of two ways. If Putin has ordered all Russians in the USA and Europe to return home, it could be a sign of war, right? He might need extra bodies on the front line, or it could mean that Donald Trump's coming into office and Putin just wants his people back. Nah, I don't really know how to look at that. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe he just doesn't want them here in case somebody else goes to war with us, like our ally Israel. What if they turn on us because of these drones? Oh, y'all, holy. So speaking of the drones in Israel and everything else, there was 200 something? Shit, I don't remember. There have been vials of really deadly viruses that have just poof, gone missing, right? And now people are saying that the reason the drones aren't getting shot down is because they are carrying the vials of the diseases or the viruses and whatever else. It sounds real like a movie, right? Let me get to the part where I found it so I can tell you about it. And then we will get to Luigi Mangione later today also. Please understand that is happening. Here. Okay, so the Intel Frog, I don't know if you guys have heard of this channel over on X. Again, I'm sharing with you what I'm finding. I cannot guarantee the validity of this right here, but it would make sense to me. So this person says, U.S. Air Force KC-46 Pegasus, as Tulip 58, I don't even know what crap that means, is heading out to sea off the coast of New Jersey to search for the Iranian drone mothership. Most unusually, it's taking off from McGuire Air Force Base, New Jersey, a known UAS/UAP response base, as uncovered by InfoWars. That's what this is showing. That's what this is saying. And it's showing this here. Okay. If you guys understand what any of that lingo meant, help a chick out, because I have no flipping clue what a UAS UAP response base is. I'm ignorant on it. I'm going to be very upfront with you always. If I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know something. And I do not know what UAS and UAP means, but I'm sure some of y'all do at some point. So this is, somebody said here, military aircraft app, something. I don't know. I'm trying to read the little notes, what's going on, and nobody is debunking it. And that's what is crazy to me. Most of the time when somebody puts up something like this, there will be people who come out and go, no, that's not true. I live here and I haven't seen anything take off. I've got the app of something. I can track all these things, and that's not true. There has not been a single debunking of this yet. So it is possible they are sending somebody out into the wide open waters to make sure there's not some sort of ship that is chilling there, right? But what's crazy to me is that this one is saying an Iranian drone mothership, Iran, not Israel. Other people are saying Israeli, which wouldn't make sense because Israel right now is relying on the U.S. to continue giving them money and doing whatever else it is that Biden is doing for them, right? UAS, unidentified aerial system. Thank you, 11 Kitties, for clarifying that for me, because I wasn't quite sure. With the, you have here, what is this one? Okay, so this also has to do with the what the word? Come on, Michelle. Drones. This says part of the UFOs not being real is no longer the USG's docket. This is UFO related, but also drone related. So it is left with two choices. One, fess up in clear statements, or two, disclose the fact that non-human technology is buzzing our skies, meaning the drones in Jersey, on a nightly basis. Not everything we are seeing is a mundane drone, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Since they are buzzing around our military and atomic installations and landing on highways and in farm fields with impunity, the United States Air Force was terribly embarrassed. If UFOs were real, they were making fools of our military and proving that our extensive Air Force was incapable of defending the skies over the United States. This is a quote from some John Keel something or other. But this is, listen, hold on. Let's get this bigger so you guys can hear this. I don't know. This says Mr. Gonzalez. Who is Mr. Gonzalez? Let's just listen to this together.
It's concerning. It's frustrating. You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are. You're telling me that a lot of these, Mr. Jones, you're telling me that 90%, 95% of these drones along the U.S.-Mexico border, we can't interact because they're not in U.S. territory?
That is correct. A large proportion of them stay in foreign airspace.
I'll tell you what, there are a lot of Americans that are very frustrated right now that are essentially questioning where are my taxpayer dollars going? You know, this Doge craze that's kind of starting to take hold. This is very real. I mean, this is going to come. People are going to have to come before the carpet, and they're going to have to explain every single line item. What do you do here? What does this get? And it's concerning. It's frustrating.
That's just wanted to play that for y'all because they are having conversations about what is happening in the skies of New Jersey, in the coastline there as well. It's kind of a big deal. So we don't need to just put it out of our minds as being airplanes or just orbs in the sky. We do need to pay attention to this because there could be some validity to what these things are, and it could be something of a negative impact. I'm trying to find the other bookmark that I have here regarding these. Okay, so Shadow of Ezra on X posted that military sources have informed journalist Jay Anderson that the lack of public transparency regarding the drones stems from their deployment as U.S. drones in response to a potential biological or nuclear threat. So that's what I was going to talk to you guys about. What I'm trying to find the other part over. Is this the one? Footage was not taken in crop footage, YouTube, several skies over. So this also, this is one of those videos that's going around right now. I just want to show you. This is one of the videos going around right now. They're saying is over New Jersey, a time lapse of the drones. And that's incorrect. This is not over New Jersey. This is not there's a lot of stars for an open field for New Jersey, but this is not from that. So when you see this video, just understand it was taken, it's cropped footage from a YouTube video posted several days ago of the skies over Wisconsin, which doesn't really make it much better. Additionally, there's no proof of the moving objects being drones. It is more likely to be satellites or iridium flares as shown here. Let's also be very clear. That could be its own misdirection. When you're seeing this video and it's not over New Jersey, it's over, where did we say? Wisconsin. And they're saying that it's satellites and things like that. That's a lot of freaking movement. Even if it is time lapse and everything else, you can tell that it is moving much faster than it should. Do we really have that many satellites flying over Wisconsin at the exact same time? Iridium flares, is that really something we see that often? This could be its own sense of misdirection, so that, again, you see it and you go, oh no, never mind, that's just satellites or iridium flares. And it literally could be something else. Do I believe it's UFOs? No. Do I believe it's drones from outside of the U.S.? 50-50. Do I believe it's drones from inside of the U.S.? 50-50. When that lady, whatever her name is, something Singh, got up at the podium for the United States of America and said that our U.S. military is not flying drones, what she didn't say was, it's not our CIA, it's not the FBI, it's not whatever other three-letter organization or whoever else, is out there that we don't even know about. It could be one of them flying these things because there is some sort of threat possible in that area, because that is very near New York. Hello, and New York is always a target, it seems, whenever anything happens. And we do have these vials of biological warfare that have gone missing, which is what I'm trying to find so I can show you guys. Where is it? I'm going to find this. Just give me 2 seconds to continue on here. As I look for it, I'm going to read you this. According to the New Jersey State Police, drones have a wingspan of 6 feet. That's what they're saying about these drones, wingspan of 6 feet. They are also operating without lights. They're flying 6 to 7 hours of flight time, which is almost impossible for a drone. If you've ever flown a drone, know anything about drones, 6 to 7 hours of air time, of fly time, almost friggin' impossible. I don't know any drone that can do that. Not detectable by radio frequency, difficult to detect by helicopter. They are highly maneuverable, and the Coast Guard is now involved. These are the New Jersey drones. The Coast Guard is now involved. So either it is UFOs or there is enough technology out there to have some sort of Avengers kind of stuff going on. Because, it feels sci-fi related, right? But anything's possible, right? These are not fake. These are not made up stories. These are things that are actually going on. New Jersey police are looking into it. FBI is looking into it. The White House is looking into it. Citizens have seen it. There are videos of these things going around. But if I could find this flippin' bookmark that I want to show you guys, I saved it like 2 days ago. What's that lady's name? Singh. Oh, here's another thing. The Pentagon is aware of the drone situation. They have no evidence it's coming from a foreign entity or adversary. They are not U.S. military drones, which we've already talked about. It's not an Iranian mothership. FBI knows nothing. Local law enforcement knows nothing. None have been shot down. A total and complete breakdown of the illusion of control over U.S. airspace. That is the kicker to me. This is U.S. airspace. U.S. airspace. Again, they caught the Chinese man. American, he's a citizen, but he's still a Chinaman. I don't know. They caught the guy from China with his drone on the West Coast, about to get on a plane. So he had enough time to drone footage that base over there and then go get on an airplane or try to get on an airplane. And they were able to stop him because he was flying a drone in airspace he's not allowed to be in, FAA controlled airspace. But here in New Jersey, airspace, FAA regulations don't matter in Jersey. Like, is Jersey like the shithole of the U.S. and they just don't care about it? Like, how does this work? So the total and complete breakdown of the illusion of control over U.S. airspace is an extremely important sentence to remember. The illusion of control over U.S. airspace. Because at any point in time, we could see Russian fighter jets. We could see Iranian, whatever. You could see Israel coming this way. Anybody else could be coming this way. And we have to remember that everything we have been seeing is an illusion of control over U.S. airspace. So just keep that part in mind. Now, if I don't find this bookmark, I'm gonna be real pissed off because I know I saved it because it's a huge deal. This is, Doug in Canada, piece of shit. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Elizabeth Warren, she sucks. 72 hours Trump, nope, don't care about that. Carrie Lake, we'll get to her later. Where is this? Pete Hegseth, nope, not that. Come on now. I know this is, I've saved it like 5 times. I've got to be better at delegating where these things are going. Wait, go nowhere. Stay with me. I'm going to find this. It's going to happen. Kash Patel. No, we're not talking about him. President-elect Trump. Nope, not going to talk about that one. The chick who banged 100 guys in one day. Bless it. She needs help. Where is this thing with the missing... Y'all, I'm having problems here. I saved so much stuff to talk to you guys about that now I'm having trouble finding the things I saved to talk to you guys about. Trump, no, we did this yesterday. Where the crap is this? Did they take it away? Is that a thing? Let's just search. Let's just go into search mode. Explore. Missing bioweapons. How about that? Because I know it's here. Here we go. Ta-da. Australia's government announced that hundreds of deadly virus samples are missing in what is described as a major historical breach of biosecurity protocols. That is huge. What's crazy? Y'all, what's crazy? I just realized this. Y'all ready for this? This was in 2023. They have now been pumping it out on social media as if it's a right now thing. This is in 2023. Deadly virus samples went missing from lab in major biosecurity breach, 2023. So right now we have seen, let's just talk about this real fast. These went missing in 2023. At the end of 2023, we had monkeypox or mpox, whatever they wanted to call it, hitting New York, they said, right? And it was supposed to be like the biggest thing in the world, and then it just fizzled out, went away. But right now, over in the, Republic of Congo, Dominican Republic of the Congo, I don't remember Congo, over in Congo, there has been some sort of virus that has been out that they don't know what it is, they've never seen it before, they don't know how to stop it, and it's killed hundreds of teenagers, weirdly. 15 to 18-year-olds are the ones who are dying from this outbreak of something they've never seen before, don't know where it started, don't know where it came from, don't know how to stop it. I wonder if this has anything to do with everything that went missing from Australia in 2023. That'll be interesting to see if there's any kind of connection to this later. The government instructed Queensland Health, which is Australia's public health department, to launch an investigation into what's being described as a major historical breach of biosecurity protocols. It was reported that 323 vials of multiple infectious viruses, including Hendra-virus, Lyssavirus, and hantavirus, went missing from Queensland's public health virology laboratory in August of 2023. So it's been over a year, right? But now we are seeing that different governments around the world are talking about these new health scares because, again, you can't go 4 years without some sort of new health scare, right? We'll pay attention to it. I'm glad that it went missing over a year ago and it's not like a brand new missing thing because that gives you even more like pause to worry. But at the same time, I'm a little disturbed at all of the different diseases they're now saying that are popping up out of nowhere in different countries around the world that they don't know what they are, how to stop them. Because all I hear now is whatever these things are, we're going to have a whole bunch more vaccines coming through and it's going to be pushed. If you're going to go to this country, you're going to have this because it could be any one of these 323 missing whatevers, right? Oh, that sucks. But either way, a lot of people were talking about these drones could have something to do with those missing bioweapons. And maybe it takes time for bioweapons and drones to be made into like a unified thing. I think that's pushing it too hard. I think that that's a little too far out in conspiracy theory land, right? I generally have a whole foot into conspiracy theory land because so many conspiracy theories have been proven correct, right? But I feel like that's even a little too far out there. I do think that whatever is going on our Jersey coastline, our government knows exactly what it is. They may be involved in it, whether it's just them or they are working with another country. I do believe that they know exactly what is going on, and they do not want to tell us because it would either incite panic or incite riots. And we've already got enough of that crap going on with BLM acting a friggin' fool in New York over the Daniel Penny acquittal, right? So I'm interested to see where it all goes. It's something we will continue to pay attention to. Obviously, there's going to be more and more information that comes out about it. But for now, they are real. Whatever's going on over there, they're not airplanes, Ryan Hall, y'all. I don't believe so anyway. If they were airplanes, we all know what an airplane looks like. We all know how airplanes fly, even if it's the little bitty ones, even if it's a remote controlled. I used to fly remote controlled airplanes, the kind you build together, like you put together and they're like a couple $100. You got to fly them and hope you don't immediately just crash them into the ground. They don't move that fast. They don't light up like that. They don't go that high, and they don't fly for 6 to 7 hours, and they don't have 6-foot wingspans most of the time. Again, it's not an airplane. Not an airplane. The movie Fifth Element, if you guys have never seen it, it is the cheesiest, corniest, whateverest movie ever, I'm sure. There's others, obviously. Howard the Duck, super cheesy, friggin' love it. But with the Fifth Element, it shows how there are creatures from other planets who come to this planet to keep things safe. I do not believe we're the only things in the entire universe. It would not make a lick of sense for only this planet to be inhabited. There's got to be something else somewhere else, right? I don't know how much or what. I just personally think there's something somewhere. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. Something somewhere is all I have for you. So let's get back to a couple more things, and I'm gonna let you guys go. I've been running my mouth for almost a friggin' hour. Nothing new. Do it all the time. This is what I want to talk to you about. So Candace Owens says, you know what? Screw it. I might run for president because what our governments have been doing to the people of this country who put their lives on the line for this country is absolutely horrendous, horrific, whatever. Good reason. Now you have Senator John Fetterman is considering running for president in 2028. Now, this is according to Dom Lucre over on X. He is another take with a grain of salt person that I do follow because sometimes there's some really good stuff. Sometimes I'm like, that's a reach. And even for me, I'm like, that's a little too far, right? But it says here, as of now, Hillary Clinton, AOC, Kamala Harris, and Gavin Newsom have all been named as potential Democrat presidential candidates for the next election. Kamala Harris, no, just don't even try that dumb shit again. It's absolutely ridiculous to even think about it. Hillary Clinton has some validity to it, and let me explain why. Bill Clinton was just on The View. Bill Clinton was just on The View talking about, I don't even know what the crap he talked about because I don't watch the actual View because I'd like to keep the brain cells I do have left intact, and I feel like the more you watch The View, the more they just start to like fizzle away because those hags are absolutely awful. And Bill Clinton, also not the best. So he was on The View though, and he was talking about pardons and all this other stuff. And then he got off. Oh, where is it? Hold on. Wait, I have more. So here, come here. You're 3 minutes long. Oh, we're not watching 3 minutes of you. Just come here. Wait. We don't need volume for this. Okay, so this is Air Force One. There you have Jill Biden and Joe Biden getting off this plane, right? And just pay attention, just watch. One, he's not falling down. He generally falls up the plane. But they're getting off this plane. But you had Bill Clinton on The View talking about how he would never ask Joe Biden to do anything crazy for him or Hillary or anything like that. But then, just wait. I don't know if she's already walked by and I missed it or not, but nope, there's Hillary Clinton. There's Hillary Clinton getting off Air Force One with the Bidens. And then a second later, here comes good old Billiam. I like to call him Billiam. There's Bill. Why are they on Air Force One with Jill and Joe Biden? What are y'all doing? Why are the four of you up there? Is this like a upside down pineapple party? Is this like a thing from The Villages, but now it's in Air Force One where they're just passing old people around? That's weird, that's gross. But either way, I could see Hillary Clinton trying to put her name back in the race for the president because there was a lot of talk when Kamala was on the campaign trail, how if it didn't work for her, it should have been Hillary, right? And how Hillary makes a better candidate than Kamala. Oh, I remember what Bill was talking about. Bill was talking about the emails and all this other stuff and how he wouldn't ask for any kind of pardon or anything for any of that stuff because Hillary did nothing wrong, blah, 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 blah. That's what he was talking about. But now you have the possibility of in 2028, Hillary Clinton, how old? I give myself hiccups. How old is Hillary Clinton now? Type faster. How old? She's 77 years old. So she would be 81 years old if she were to run for president in 2028, which means if she ran and won, whatever, she would be 85 years old by the time her term ended, or, she croaked out in the middle of it, because our lifespan has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter, even though it also got longer after the 1800s. But now with all the chemicals and cancers and stuff, lifespan is moving back to shortness. 76, I think, is supposed to be the average lifespan now. So, yay, Hillary, you made it to 77. You beat the average. But her running would make more sense than Kamala Harris because I think she has a better chance than Kamala Harris, although no Democrat should just not run in 2028. Just sit down, let the Republicans take care of everything. You'll be perfectly fine. We don't need any of y'all Democrats. But for John Fetterman, he's out of Pennsylvania or Ohio. I can never remember if he's Pennsylvania or Ohio. I think it's Pennsylvania. I remember he went missing for a while. We talked about it during the same time as the Norfolk Southern train derailment in Ohio, in East Palestine, Ohio. John Fetterman had gone missing and people were like, where is he? He hasn't been seen for like 2 or 3 weeks, blah, 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 blah. Then somebody said he either had a mental health breakdown or he had a stroke and he was in a hospital, and then he came back out. And for the last couple of months, he's been different. He hasn't been as Democrat loyal as he was before going in, and now they're saying that he has seen the light a little bit. But if he's talking about maybe being a Democrat presidential candidate, if he has seen the light a little bit and agrees more with the Republican side, he may be their best bet for Democrats to pull together, Democrats and Republicans, but I don't think so. Somebody said he had a lobotomy. I don't even know what happens there. It's the side effects from his stroke. Anything's possible. I don't think enough people like him to warrant him running for president. That's just me. But again, we've seen stranger things. So that man he's a big dude. Number one, he is a big dude. He could be very intimidating to a lot of people. But for him to run makes sense, I guess. Hillary Clinton, sure. Gavin Newsom, no. There's no reason Gavin Newsom should ever run for president. He's already completely shit all over California. You're not allowed to do that for the rest of the country. And then AOC, who the hell wants a bartender for a president? Yeah, she's got boobs. Who cares? She's dumb as dirt. Kamala Harris makes more sense than AOC. And Kamala Harris is stupider than a twig. None of that makes sense at all. So that's that. What else do we have? I need to let y'all go. I know we've been here forever. So let's just do like two more little things, and then I'll let you go and we can do more tomorrow. So today, President Joe Biden decided that he wanted to do more than Obama did. He wanted to have a bigger impact than Obama. So today, President Biden is pardoning 39 people with nonviolent crimes who have demonstrated remorse and rehabilitation, and he's commuting the sentences of nearly 1,500 others, many of whom would have received lower sentences today if they had gotten in trouble today versus when they got in trouble. And he says America was built on second chances. That's what these pardons and commutations represent. So this has been the biggest pardon day out of any president before. Before him, it was Obama, and that was only a third of what Biden just pardoned, or whatever the right word is here. So he says here, let's see, successfully, blah, 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 blah. Does it really matter? Do we really care? Maybe, I don't know. We'll read it anyway. No, I don't care. I don't want to read it. Y'all can look it up. I don't want to read it. But either way, he did something more so than Obama, and that's supposed to be a huge deal because he commuted a bunch of people. Okay? Now you know. Now, the other one, where is it? Y'all? No, we should get to Luigi. Hold on. Let's do Luigi first, real quick. And then we will talk about, here's the pictures from yesterday that I couldn't find to show y'all. Remember I told you Mitch McConnell fell on his face on the Senate floor? So there's that. And here is his hand that we were talking about, looking all gimpy, right? Looking all messed up. I don't like that man as a human. I feel the same way about Joe Biden. But between the two of them being allowed to continue on with what they're doing is elder abuse. Plain and simple, elder abuse. If Mitch McConnell is going to continuously have seizures or whatever it is that's going on with him, where he freezes up, where it looks like somebody has turned off the switch and he's completely stopped moving, talking, almost breathing, can't walk because he's falling down and hurting himself, he really should not be in a position that he's in, let alone starting a new position in the next term, right? Like, why is he still where he is? Term limits have got to be had. They must be had. I don't believe in tenure for anything personally. Personally, I don't believe in tenure for anything. I don't care if you're a teacher. I don't care if it's in the police department. I don't care if it's in the Supreme Court. Tenure is not a thing. Prove that you should be there. Prove that you are worth your job, or get the hell on. That's how it should be. I wouldn't expect tenure for myself just because I happen to be at some place for 10 years. If after 10 years I suck at my job, you should let my ass go and put somebody in place who's going to do a better job. If after 20 years I am not keeping up with what's current or moving on with a better way to do things or expanding my knowledge of what's going on, get rid of my ass. That's how it should work. Tenure should never be a thing. Not everybody's going to agree with that. There's a lot of people out there who are where they are because they got tenure. But the problem with tenure comes no accountability, no responsibility, and just laziness and acceptance. Not always, obviously. There are people with tenure out there who still would earn it today, their position today, if they had to like test for it or something. But most of the time, that is not the case, especially when it comes to government and Congress and the Supreme Court and all these different things. No, tenure is not a thing. Term limits should be a thing. Mitch McConnell has got to go. He should not be allowed to be on any position the next 4 years. So there's that. Where's the other thingy-majiggy? There was another thingy-majiggy. Ooh, do y'all want to see Tim Walz and Gwen Walz? Let's do this. So Tim Walz, not a fan. His wife is creepy as hell, just so we're all fully aware. She is beyond creepy. But for some reason, Tim Walz posted a video that was meant for his daughter on social media while placing a toilet paper roll angel on top of their Christmas tree. So in theory, this man who is the governor of Minnesota, who was trying to become the vice president of the United States, doesn't know how to send his daughter a video. So instead he just posts it to social media and hopes that she'll see it or something. Either way, Gwen Walz is weird. Tim Walz is weirder. We dodged a massive bullet there.
Hey, Hope, Mom and Dad here.
Hey, Hoper girl.
Finishing decorating the family tree in the living room, or in our family room here. And it's all of the handmade ornaments over the years. So we were thinking of you, and I just wanted to show you a couple. We were cracking up about a couple of these. So I'll try it. Here you go. Take a look at this.
Okay, I don't care anymore. Yeah, we're done. I don't really care about his Christmas tree or anything else. What I do care about the fact is that he could not figure out how to just send his daughter a video, so he uploaded it to social media and wasn't aware of it. And he could have been vice president, and he's currently a sitting governor who also thinks that boys' bathrooms need tampons in them, and then has parades with like 5 and 6 year olds dressed up as whatever in their gay pride parades and their trans parades and everything else. No, nope. What do they call her? Hope? Is that what her name? Hope Walz? How old is she? Hope Walz is 23. Okay, she's the one. Gus was the son that he yanked across the stage at the DNC. I don't know how old his daughter was because she looked young, but she's 23 years old. So she is at Montana State University. All right, whatever. Where was I going with that? Anyway, let's continue on with one more thing, and then I'll let you guys go because we've been here forever, and I know you want to leave. I don't want you to leave, but I'm going to let you leave because you have other stuff to do, and I don't want to be the one who holds you back all day long, but I cannot find the other little thing that I was looking for because there's so much stuff going on. Oh, let's do this. Well, you know what? We'll do Luigi stuff tomorrow because there's nothing really big there with Luigi Mangione and the fact that I still don't think he's the one who shot Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO. But Donald Trump has named Carrie Lake to serve as the director of Voice of America, which is the U.S. government's international broadcasting network, because she used to be a broadcaster. So she has the perfect voice and I don't know, personality to be a voice of America. This is what Donald Trump had to say. I am pleased to announce that Carrie Lake will serve as our next director of the Voice of America. She will be appointed by and work closely with our next head of the U.S. Agency for Global Media, who I will announce soon, to ensure that the American values of freedom and liberty are broadcast around the world fairly and accurately, unlike the lies spread by the fake news media. Carrie was a beloved news anchor in Arizona, which supported me by record margins for over 20 years. Congratulations, Carrie. Now, I feel like a lot of people are 50-50 on this Carrie Lake. Not everybody likes Carrie Lake. I am very curious if y'all like Carrie Lake or not. And if you do, why? And if you don't, why? Because again, 50-50 for a lot of people on this appointment. I mean, I don't really know if this is even a big thing, having her as a Voice of America, director of Voice of America. Like, is that big? Is there going to be a ton of times where she has to talk to the entire world or something? I don't know. I've never heard of director of Voice of America before. I don't know if they just made it for her or if this is something that is normal. But either way, that's what has just happened there. No, that's going to be over on X because I can't do it here because I'll get in trouble. And that's got to be on X because I'll definitely get in trouble with the way I think about things over here. Make sure you guys are following me on X. It is free to go over there and just follow. I think it's the word they use, follow, not subscribe, because I post videos and stuff over there. But there's some topics we need to talk about that I can't do over here because YouTube. One of them being the teacher, sixth grade teacher who sent a D pic to his 14-year-old student. So we're got a lot to say about that one. That'll be over on X. And same thing with, what's the other one here that I wanted to talk to you guys about? Oh yeah, what Washington State just announced about boys pretending to be girls, basically trans athletes and stuff. We'll have to do that over there too, because YouTube is real touchy and picky about the things you're allowed to talk about, stupidly. So that'll be over there. Yeah, that's it for now. There's a lot more, but we'll do it. Oh, no, we'll do this and then we'll go. So Trump has invited China's Xi Jinping, is that how you say his name, to his inauguration. Please understand, if this man from China comes here and is sitting next to or in front of Trump as he's inaugurated, that's huge. That is huge. You have Donald Trump talking about he's going to tariff the shit out of China and Canada and Mexico and all these other countries. And if the leader of China goes, that's cool, I'm going to come to your inauguration anyway, that seems to me like bowing down to Donald Trump. That's how I would see that. I would see that as him not admitting, but it would show the world, in my opinion, that Donald Trump is the man, that the United States at that point has more power than China. Right now, I feel like the fly, like in the corner of the room over there, has more power than our country with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris at the helm, right? I feel like anybody else could outpower us because we've given all of our military equipment and money to other countries and not here. And we've gotten rid of all of our military men and women because they wouldn't take a stupid jab. But we've brought in a bunch of military men and women who don't know if they're men or women. So until Donald Trump is in office, I feel like we are sitting ducks. And once he's in office, if what's Xi Jinping, I can't ever say this broski's name. If Chinaman shows up, that to me says that we are back, baby. We're back, baby. That's how I see it, just like that. So it'll be good either way. Okay, I love y'all. It's been an hour. I'm going to let you get on about your day. I have another Pilates class tonight. For those of you who are curious, I didn't mention it last time. I did an hour of Pilates on, what's today, Thursday, on Tuesday. And it was easy-ish to do, I thought, until it wasn't. And then I've been sore for the last 2 days. And I was like, oh, okay, go don't sleep on Pilates. Take your butt to a Pilates class and try it out one time. Get your husband, your boyfriend, your whatever to go, your wife, if it's dudes that are watching, your wife, your girlfriend, your baby mama, your side piece, your whoever, get them to go. If you have kids who need to get into some sort of shape, get their asses in there too. I can promise you it'll be worth it. I've only gone twice and I am in friggin' love. So I'm going again today for a whole different type of class. We'll see how that one goes. I'll let you guys know if you're curious. But besides that, I love y'all immensely. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow on Friday, the 13th, my dudes. Okay, goodbye. Adios, if I can hit the X.